guys, because I'm going in opposite direction. Dudes, give us a kiss. I'm going in opposite direction. Give us a kiss. Mwah. Do what you're doing. Oh, he's got a little hole there that he likes to put his cars in.
Well, why have we got this?
Right, I'll see you in a minute. I'm going to... Hello there, guys. So Dean's just been out here just to let him know I'm on it right now for sure. So Dean's just off with the kids because clearly this little nice little building here believes that my children who have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome don't deserve a double buggy. So this little place here, as you know, I came down live. As you know, John Wright was given till 4 o'clock yesterday to bring back my double buggy, being that even Social have told them we're in a 1-bedroom flat. In the 1-bedroom flats here, it's only a canal door. In the 2-bedroom flats, there's space for me to bring the double buggy into the flat. Now, at the end of the day, we're meant to be under a managed move. In order to move, every woman will know you unpack the boxes, you go through each room. Now, the challenge that I have is at individual checkpoints, they check whether or not there's items in the hallway. Now, obviously, as an EDS mother, it might be that one of the children needs a toilet. It might be that I've hurt and injured myself and need to slow down. But I can't do things at the speed. I don't have brothers to ring up and say, hey Ryan, can you come and lift some boxes from the storage unit? I don't have my dad to say, hey Dad, can you take some stuff down to the skip for me today? I'm here. So Dean's come back from Europe to be with us because obviously the bullying and intimidation from the state is getting worse. I have here my son Landon. It means I have a hidden condition. My diagnoses are Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, Asperger's, complex trauma, borderline personality, and narcissistic traits. Why do I have narcissistic traits? I have narcissistic traits because I don't trust people who are not in line with my intentions. I'm a good person, very good person. In fact, when I became the director of Step Up Britain, it was to help people like me not be disabled, but to be enabled by the system. To make sure that there wasn't the gap in between people like me not being able to succeed, whether it be university or our chosen careers, because there was a bridge between the support systems that we needed to actually have. Today, multi-agency frameworks exist so people with hidden conditions don't have to just sit on disability benefit, which is now independent personal payments. Why? Because we're no longer disabling people. We're no longer saying you are not fit for purpose, therefore you're to sit in a government budgeted house, to sit on government benefits on what used to be called severe disability allowance. Now, when I came out in the media in 2010 and I did Daybreak and I did all the TV and all the radio, what I said is most people are not given the toolbox. They're diagnosed, but they're never given the deliverance of that diagnosis. And neither then is the correct support places put into place with their family and their immediate friends. Now, children's social services, as we know, is only coming from a child protection point of view. Families with physical conditions, mental health and learning difficulties are being set up into a trap that then means that there's only one box for them to sit under, and that's child protection. So that then means that me, Kelly Cotton, with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, then becomes a child abuser. I'm not a child abuser, never have been a child abuser. When Aaron and Faith were taken from me, they claimed that my children didn't have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It is not my fault that the system only diagnosed children from 5. Why do they diagnose children that have a 50-50 chance of collecting their mother or father's condition? Because the education system was only starting from 5, therefore funding only started from 5. Hence why everything starts from 5. That means that children under 5 with pre-existing conditions or undiagnosed conditions are slipping into the system. Now at Christmas, all I wanted to do was get my Christmas decorations from the storage unit, bring them upstairs, do my happy clappy Christmas decorations in my house, take the boxes downstairs. During that time, obviously, I've had 3 people go their stuff in the hallway. Like I said, I have 2 children. Dean is here, but we're on an untidy tenancy because 4 of us in that property is too much. We're both autistic. We're an Asperger's spectrum family. I'm high functioning Asperger's, so I'm high high functioning autism, which means I don't walk around like the Rain Man, and I'm actually highly clever and intelligent. Hence why when I designed Step Up Britain, I could see where the gap in the trap was. So when George Osborne announced the big push on people with hidden conditions, I didn't sit down and lay down to what was going on. I decided, with my psychology degree, with my youth qualifications, with the fact that I work for NIFICA Northern Ireland Forces Youth and Community Services, with the fact that I've travelled and lived in war zones in Northern Ireland as an army wife, with the fact that I was a teenage mother and also in foster care myself. My eyes are wide open. I see exactly where the fact that it's their job, they're paid. So these guys here, not to get them on camera, try to be a little bit polite because it's not their problem. It's a job. They get up because they've got bills to pay. These guys here have rent. They've got to pay for Jimmy Savile's little network to go and rape all the children because they've all got to pay their TV licence. If we don't pay our TV licence, then the state can't kidnap children to send them off to the paedophile circle. So we've all got to keep paying that bill, remember? And don't forget to pay your taxes, guys, because they're shooting and murdering and pillaging and raping people in other countries to feed that war. So keep going to work, guys. Keep pumping the tax into these wars. Keep paying for the children to be raped, and keep paying for councils to keep people into these sort of places where I can probably tell you the majority of people are probably stoned out of their heads, taking some form of alcohol, drink or suppressant. Why are people suppressed? Why are people depressed? Why have people got mental health issues? Why? Because they're living outside of their normal, true existence, okay? So basically, if I come down here and I dance, I have mental health issues. Now, wouldn't it just be that maybe I'm a dancer? Oh, but don't forget, you can't have such a debilitating condition if you can dance now. Or maybe I would be a pro dancer if I didn't have such a debilitating condition. Maybe actually, if I had the correct support systems in place, then I could actually be all forms that I actually wanted to be. We have people in this room that want to be film producers. We have people that want to be police officers. We have people that want to work within the state. It all depends on where the gap is, on where your conditions exist, what you can't actually do, and what you can do with the correct support systems in place. But it's about identifying what the conditions are in the first place, whether they have been because of someone's past thoughts and actions, or whether or not somebody was born with a condition. Now, the problem that we have in this country is people who are born with a condition that die with a condition, and this is why this place becomes a problem to somebody like me. All of my records from 2010 are nil and void. They have to be 6 months, 6 weeks in correspondence. That means GPs don't have the time. They're not turning up to meetings. So when I have to deal with councils who thinks it's okay to take my double buggy from the front of my door, when we actually have already had a multi-agency meeting, we've all had of these frameworks, I'm under a managed move, because it's not an appropriate place for me and my family. So when the council then think it's funny to now my children can't actually go out. My children now can't go down to the beach. Even dad can't take the children out by themselves because my children have unstable ankles, they have bowed legs, they fall over. Why? Because they are Ehlers-Danlos syndrome children. My diagnosis is on my front door. This council was told by yesterday to return my children's double buggy. Now the police have told me it's a civil matter. So guess what's happening? I'm now officially suing Portsmouth. And I wasn't going to do this, but because my double buggy's now been brought into it, I've been pushed to the ultimate edge. So basically, because I have underlying complex trauma from the kidnap of my 2 children and the fact that they did it over here, smashed my son's head across here, held my son in here while they tried to, go and get the car seat so they could try to kidnap my children. And then on the 15th of December, they try it again, don't they, while Josie's giving birth to her baby. Okay, so these little games and these little silly things to try and raggle me because I have complex trauma and because I don't have the filters because I'm Asperger's, I can say things that are taken out of content, and they know that the moment I cross the line, the moment I cross the line, then they have me under criminal and law. At the moment, we're only dealing with civil. Now, I've been speaking to the police and many people today about the violation of people to conditions, disabilities, hidden conditions, all of these things. Not a cunt. I like personal boundaries. I like respecting things like that. Not a problem. Somebody needs to get in. Not a problem. We'll probably lock the door very quickly now, and it's not a problem. But at the end of the day, we've now got people in the property. Now, even all this stuff that gets donated, it won't make it to the people on child protection. We have food parcels dropped off here. I've been on child protection this whole time. Never once has anybody supported or helped me. So I know where the corruption is in this council. I know where they're pocketing money, where the churches are pocketing money, where the government is pocketing money, where people are all being paid a wage while the people here are being abandoned and left. Unless you're in the clique, of course. Don't forget, if you're in the clique, don't forget if your mum knows this or you went to school with this one, you're all right. Whether you're friends or things like that, it's not a problem. Whether your family are probably a little bit gangster and might be a little bit whoa, do you know what I mean? That's how it works here. So anyway, this here is meant to be the place that manages and makes sure that people with, it doesn't even matter, it's just keeping people healthy, isn't it? Healthy, happy and thriving. So these people here think that it's okay to take two little boys, little double buggy. They think it's okay to take my children's double buggy of an autistic Asperger's Ehlers-Danlos syndrome family. And the thing is, what do I do to these people? Do I beat them up? So I say, give me back my buggy, I'm going to beat you up. Do I say I'm going to kill you? What do I say? How do I put pressure on these people to give them back my children's buggy? Now, they can send the police to physically harm me, but what can I do to them? So now we're going there. So now, guys, please, it's time to wake up Portsmouth City Council. It's time to scale the buildings. It's time to send a hard and fast, stark message to Portsmouth City Council, because it is an island and this represents every city in the UK. Here's the irony of Portsmouth City Council while I stand right in the middle. Every single person here works their ass off all year to make sure that social care get all of their nice little things. Radio stations, all the churches gather all of the presents and all of the gifts from the people that have worked really hard to feed the poor people. Do you know social care don't even have the system to hand these items out, and actually it's done on a whim basis. I've been sitting here 4.5 years on and off child protection, watching it from all angles, knowing full well that I came right down to the core to get to the proper problem with the core. So we knew about the paedophilia, we knew about the state kidnapping. What we didn't know about was lack of compassion, lack of understanding, the fact that people go to work and unless they're paid to do something, they can't be asked. So if I happen to see some rubbish out here, it's the cleaner's job. They're paid to do that. If I see Graham out here, who's clearly in distress and under trauma, whose job is it to look after Graham? They get enough housing benefit for him. They get enough council tax. People are going to work to pay their taxes for adult and children's social care. But where is the actual care system that supports and enables people to thrive? So that if somebody does want to live in an environment, this dance studio would make it so somebody like me who's in a 1-bedroom flat doesn't need to live with a verbatim, because Dean is a DJ and I am a dancer, he is also a dancer, but we can't express and live within our true purpose because it's in line with the rules and regulations that exist by government, which is crushing people, putting people in debt, putting people under pressure, stressing people out, causing sickness, causing mental health. Because people are not understanding. We were not built to do a job. We were built for a purpose, and we all have our own purpose. But John Wrong in here, his purpose is not to take my children's wheelchair, my children's double buggy of an Ehlers-Danlos syndrome family. Now the lines have crushed. So in September, we're preparing for Parliament. I'm going back to United Nations, I'm going back to EU, and I'm going to give my evaluation of what I think of these communities and how they're run and these hubs. And I have to say, I'd fire every single person here, because not one of them actually, I've watched it, I've videoed it, I've got the whole documentary now. I haven't seen one person care.